Chapter 81. In Yi Tian's eyes, Yun Feng's talent was clear. Human, cloud wind. Cultivation talent, extraordinary. Wind blade talent, top. Speed talent, medium. It is rumored that Yun Feng has a primary speed talent, and now Yun Feng's speed talent has become medium. Don't look at the difference between elementary and medium being only one level. The speed difference is very large. The elementary speed talent can only increase speed by 3 times, while the medium speed talent can increase speed by a factor of 5. For example, if Yun Feng's speed talent is only 5 times the speed of sound, then the elementary speed talent can only give him 15 times the speed of sound, while the medium speed talent can give him 25 times the speed of sound. The difference between 15 times the speed of sound and 25 times the speed of sound is too great. Yun Feng's luck is really good. Not only has he raised his cultivation talent to the transcendent level in the secret realm, but he has also raised his speed talent from elementary to medium. With the medium speed talent, the others couldn't hurt Yun Feng at all, and the wind blade released by Yun Feng's top-level wind blade talent was enough to kill most of the great martial artists among them in an instant. Yi Tian said darkly, "Of course, there are also real strong people among the 20 or so people in the Helian family, such as Helian Bai, who is very powerful and has 3 special talents. Medium peep talent, elementary speed talent, and high earth spear talent. In terms of strength, Helian Bai is also very powerful, second only to a battle genius like Yun Feng." After Yi Tian glanced at it, he no longer paid attention to the battle, because the ending had already been decided. His spatial perception continued to extend underground, probing the veins of the Vitality Stone. Abruptly, a huge fierce beast appeared in Yi Tian's spatial perception. The beast was 420 meters underground, within the range of the copying talent. Species, pangolin. Bloodline talent, top. Defense talent, medium. Soil escape talent, medium. Strength talents, medium. This fierce beast is really awesome. It actually has 3 special talents, and it also has the earth escape talent. If you fight underground, even a warrior who is much stronger than him may not be able to beat it. Yi Tian also finally understood why Helian Bai had not taken these Yuan Qi stones in the secret realm for 10 years. He really couldn't defeat this earthly pangolin. These warriors guard this entrance passage into the underground. It should be the entrance they dug out. If I dig again, it will be too late, and the movement is very big. It will definitely alarm them. However, it is not realistic to teleport directly into it, because teleportation can only reach the place where the eye needs to be seen, and if he shuttles to that entrance, he will inevitably be discovered. It would not be realistic to teleport directly through a thick layer of soil. If Yi Tian's spatial talent had reached a high level, he might be able to do it, but now he couldn't. Yi Tian thought about it, but still didn't think of a good way. "Xiao Zi, do you know any other routes to enter the Yuan Qi stone vein?" Yi Tian patted Xiao Zi's purple little ass and asked. "Rogue Master." Xiao Zi snorted dissatisfiedly, and then said obediently, "Xiao Zi does know a passage, or the underground passage carved out by the pangolin at the end, because it will not stay underground all the time, and occasionally go out to hunt other fierce beasts to replenish energy, otherwise it will also be weak. And that's where I found it. Just right?" Yi Tian guessed that Xiao Zi must have taken a fancy to the Yuan Qi stone, so he was so careful that he wanted to find other passages, and its strength was much weaker than that of the earth pangolin, so it didn't succeed. "Where is it?" Yi Tian asked. Xiao Zi pointed to the distance, and after Yi Tian understood, he immediately teleported over. Yi Tian's one-time teleportation distance is 1,000 meters, and if he uses the space imprint to locate it, he can teleport 2,000 meters at once. The range of 1,000 meters has already been out of the spiritual power sensing range of those martial artists. Coupled with Yi Tian's continuous teleportation, the speed is super fast, and no one has found Yi Tian's traces. Soon, Yi Tian came to the place where Xiao Zi said, "It's a small lake. Master, there is a passage under this lake that connects to an underground space, and from that underground space you can enter the passage opened up by the ground pangolin." In fact, there is no need for Xiao Zi to remind him. Yi Tian had already sensed it. "I'll go, this pangolin can really make holes," and they all hit the lake. If there is no Xiao Zi to lead the way, even if I have spatial perception to slowly sense the situation underground, it will be very difficult to find here. Yi Tian exclaimed. So, Yi Tian took Xiao Zi into the lake, and then followed the underwater passage to a small underground space. At this time, he found a number of passages, which led in all directions like an underground labyrinth. But such a labyrinth was nothing but a maze under Yi Tian's spatial perception. Let's go! Yi Tian let Xiao Zi lead the way, slowly approaching the Yuanqi stone vein. The concentration of vitality has increased many times. Yi Tian suddenly sensed that it was obvious that the Yuanqi stone vein was about to arrive. There's a vitality stone here. Yi Tian walked to a passage and found a Yuanqi stone on the stone wall. This vitality stone is white all over and exudes an extremely rich vitality. How much vitality does this vitality stone have to gather? No wonder it is so precious. Yi Tian slowly dug this vitality stone, because he was afraid of being proficient in that fierce beast, so he was very careful and did not make any noise. I have to say that the rock layer here is very solid. Obviously, under the nourishment of the vitality, the rocks here have changed, and ordinary people may not even be able to chisel out a little rock powder. Click! With a soft sound, the first Yuanqi stone was successfully dug down by Yi Tian, and it was immediately stored in the portable space by Yi Tian. Keep looking. Soon, Yi Tian found more than 10 Yuanqi stones, and dug them all out and put them in the portable space. The battle is almost over. Yi Tian's spatial perception saw the situation above. Under the full strength of Yunfeng's burst, the people of the Helian family died one by one, and they couldn't stop Yunfeng at all. At this time, the Helian family had already killed more than a dozen people in the battle. If the Helian family is all dead, Yunfeng will definitely not let go of the Yuanqi stone vein. Let him entangle the pangolin at that end, and take the opportunity to quickly dig up the Yuanqi stone, without knowing it. Thinking of this plan, Yi Tian smiled very happily. In fact, he still had a choice, to kill all these people, including Yunfeng, so that he could have the entire Yuanqi stone vein alone. But he didn't do it because he wouldn't intentionally kill people, which was one of his principles of conduct. 11 pieces, 12 pieces, 13 pieces, 20 pieces. Yi Tian was so happy that he dug into the Yuanqi stones, and he didn't attract the attention of anyone or the fierce beast at all, except for Xiao Zi. On the ground, Yunfeng was also slightly injured. As the great warriors of the Helian family, they all have some whole cards, or amazing weapons, and it is not realistic to kill these great warriors of the Helian family without being injured. With the talent of medium speed, there is no hope for the Helian family to escape. 10 minutes passed. There was only one person left in the field, Helian Bai. Chapter 82. Haha, I didn't expect me to underestimate you. Your speed talent has reached the average. I'm not reconciled. Helian Bai spat blood from his mouth and laughed unwillingly. Die. With a wave of Yunfeng's hand, a wind blade pierced Helian Bai's chest, completely not giving Helian Bai a chance to talk nonsense. This blow directly killed the seriously injured Helian Bai. Fortunately, I got a wind spirit grass and raised my speed talent to medium, otherwise I would have been seriously injured if I didn't die, if I was besieged by these great martial artists. Yunfeng rejoiced. Immediately, he became excited and hurriedly took away the storage bags of these people. With so many storage bags, especially Helian Bai's storage bags, there are definitely a lot of treasures inside, and the value can be imagined. He is just a side genius of the Yun family. Although his combat talent is very high, he has not received much cultivation from the Yun family, and all the resources still have to rely on himself. Now, his cultivation talent has reached the point of transcendence, and he is already the top cultivation talent in the Demon Sea Great Base. And he has obtained so many resources, so he doesn't have to worry about his future cultivation. And this vitality stone vein. Yunfeng's eyes were full of fire. These veins of vitality stone are even more valuable, and once the beast is killed, the entire vein is his. These vitality stones are the real big catch. Heal the wound first. Anyway, the vitality stone will not run away there, and when the injury recovers, go and kill the beast. Yunfeng decided. It took him about half an hour to recover from all his injuries, as well as his yuan force and physical strength. He is already at his peak. Rumble. He stepped into the entryway and into the underground. A battle inevitably fought, and when Yunfeng was fighting with the earthly pangolin, Yi Tian had already dug up 200 Yuanqi stones. Hee hee, you guys fight. When you're almost done, most of the yuan qi stones will fall into my hands. Yi Tian muttered. According to his spatial perception exploration, the yuan qi stone in this yuan qi stone vein was eaten a lot by the ground pangolin. In addition, it was a small ore vein, so there were not many yuan qi stones at all. Today, there are only about 3,000 yuan qi shi veins in their entirety, which is much less than the yuan qi shi vein 10 years ago. But for Yi Tian, 3,000 yuan qi shi veins are already an unimaginable wealth. Now, Yun Feng and the earth-walking pangolin were fighting, and the sound of the battle was very loud, so even if Yi Tian was mining quickly, as long as the movement was not too big, it would not be easy to attract their attention. Xiaozi, don't be lazy. Dig for me, Yi Tian ordered. Master, I'll dig hard. Xiaozi kept nodding. Digging for treasures, it's the kind of thing it likes to do the most. It had long wanted to dig the yuan qi stone, but the pangolin was here, and it didn't dare to come in and dig it. Now that it's okay, with the owner's backing, it's not afraid. One man and one beast began to dig frantically in the veins of the yuan qi stone. If it was dug by ordinary people, it was estimated that it would take a long time to dig out a yuan qi stone, because it was difficult to find the yuan qi stone, and most of the stones here were waste stones. But Yi Tian was able to use his spatial perception ability to find the yuan qi stone through the rock layer and accurately find the location of the yuan qi stone, so the excavation speed was very fast. Of course, Yi Tian didn't dig up those yuan qi stones that were deep in the rocks, and it was relatively easy to dig out yuan qi stones. 300 pieces, 400 pieces, 500 pieces. Damn, this beast's defense is too high, and my top-tier wind blade talent can't kill it in one hit, unless I hit its shortcomings. But it can escape again and again with the earth escape technique, which is too difficult to kill. Yunfeng frowned, but it's impossible to give up killing this beast. He's already been targeted, it's impossible to dig secretly, and you can only dig it up by killing it. I heard it. It should be angry. I can completely lure it out. There is a lot of space outside, and my wind blade talent can be better released. Yun Feng thought, so he tried to lure the pangolins out. And this move greatly facilitated Yi Tian. Yi Tian was originally worried about being discovered by the earthly pangolin, so he deliberately excavated the yuan qi stone in a distant place. Now that the pangolin was drawn out of the ground, Yi Tian was even more bold to dig. 600 pieces, 700 pieces, 800 pieces. Yi Tian continued to speed up his excavation, and the sound gradually became louder, and the sound also reached the ground. Yun Feng, who was fighting with the ground pangolin, heard the sound underground. Although it was faint, he still heard it. Is there movement underground? He didn't think much of it, though. And the pangolin doesn't pay much attention to the yuan qi stone. It can't improve its strength. The yuan qi stone is just a snack in its eyes, and if it eats too much, it won't be interested. The person it hates the most now is Yunfeng, because Yunfeng has heard it. Even if it knew that someone had broken in underground, it wanted to be the first to take out Yunfeng. Its head is very stupid. It can be said to be a tendon, far less smart than Xiaozi and Xiaojun. If it is very smart, Yi Tian will not be so easy to dig up the yuan qi stone. Time passed, and the movement underground became louder and louder. Yunfeng even heard the sound of digging, as if it was. Could it be that someone is digging up the yuan qi stone? Yunfeng guessed. As soon as he thought of this possibility, Yun Feng was in a hurry. You have to use your whole cards. I saw a bead appear in Yun Feng's hand. This is not an ordinary bead, but a formation bead, and a small formation is engraved in it, called the phantom array. Such a bead is called a phantom bead, and it is a very precious treasure. If the power of the formation bead is activated, it is enough to form a small phantom array. But once such a formation bead is used, the formation will be scrapped, and it is also a one-time treasure. The effect of such a treasure on the great warrior is not very good, but the wisdom of the fierce beast is not high, and it is completely easy to confuse the fierce beast. Rumble. The array bead was triggered by the formation, and the power of the phantom array spread, instantly trapping the earthly pangolin that had just emerged. In the phantom array, the earth-walking pangolin thought that he had injured Yunfeng, and when he was proud, his eyes hurt and his head instantly became confused. The next moment, the consciousness of the ground pangolin dissipated and turned into a corpse. Just now, Yun Feng took advantage of the good opportunity of the ground-walking pangolin to fall into the phantom array, and used the wind blade to penetrate the eyes of the earth-walking pangolin, and penetrate it into the brain through the eyes, shattering the brain and killing it. Looking at the array beads that had dimmed, Yun Feng was a little distressed. But he couldn't care about the distress, and quickly went down the passage. Underground, in a passageway, Yi Tian observed the above situation and sighed helplessly. I can't dig anymore. I didn't expect Yunfeng to have such a whole card and kill the Dixing pangolin so quickly. But it's about the same. I've already dug up nearly 1,800 yuan chi stones, and Xiao Zi has dug a lot of them there. Although there are still a lot of yuan chi stones left, they are basically in the depths of the rocks, and Yunfeng is estimated to have dug some of them. Shout! Yi Tian's body moved, left quickly, and told Xiao Zi to hurry up. A man and a beast, through the underground passage, soon came to the underground space, crossed the lake, and fled far away. So far, Yunfeng didn't even know that there was a man and a beast underground, who had dug up a lot of yuan chi stones.